Hey agents, welcome back to the Center for the Blind. In this video, I want to take a look at a striker build for PvE in the Division 2. Since the buff to the striker gear set last year, it's been a pretty common set in PvE. The damage output is insane once you've got your stacks, and maintaining stacks is a lot easier now. The problem with Striker 2.0 is it lacks survivability. In the Division 1, getting stacks would not only give you damage, but also a whole lot of armor regen. Totally balanced. But anyways, in the Division 2, we're stuck with only boatloads of damage. My solution to this comes in the form of the exotic assault rifle, the Eagle Bearer. And in case you haven't heard, the Eagle Bearer is no longer a raid exclusive. It can now drop in the Dark Zone, albeit with a very low drop rate, but it's out there. Anyways, why the Eagle Bearer works so well with Striker is its talent, Tenacity. How Tenacity works is it delays a certain percentage of damage for 15 seconds. The percentage is between 40 to 80% depending on how many shots you hit before proccing it. You start at 40% and body shots add 1%, headshots add 5%. To proc Tenacity, you just need a headshot kill. After the 15 seconds, however, you take all that delayed damage. But each kill you get while Tenacity is active reduces the damage, and at 3 kills, you won't take any of the damage. If you'd like a more in-depth look at the Eagle Bearer, how it works, and when it's viable, I'll be putting out a video on it in the next week or so stay tuned. Of course, to get the survivability from Tenacity, it's dependent on you hitting a headshot, and the Eagle Bearer has pretty tough recoil to control. Well, that's where Striker comes in. The 15% weapon handling you get from the 2-piece bonus really helps reduce recoil, making it easier to land your shots. So you can see the Eagle Bearer and Striker gear set really do a good job of complementing each other. Keep in mind though that the Eagle Bearer or any weapon or gear with an on-kill mechanic like Memento or Dark Winter thrives in solo play, because the more teammates you have, odds are, the fewer confirmed kills you'll get, making it harder to proc Tenacity. That's not to say that this build, in particular, is a solo build, because more teammates means less enemies shooting at you, making it easier to build striker stacks. It just means that the Eagle Bearer will lose some of its usefulness when doing content like a 4-man mission or countdown. Anyways, back to Striker. You also get 15% rate of fire with the 3-piece bonus. This is basically giving you a raw 15% increase in DPS. The only drawback is your damage per mag doesn't change. But don't worry, this isn't a concern for the Eagle Bearer and its 60-round magazine. Finally, the 4-piece bonus, Striker's Gamble. Hitting enemies gives you stacks. Each stack gives you 0.65 total weapon damage, but because we're using the backpack, that's bumped up to 1% total weapon damage per stack. Max stacks is 100, so that's a maximum of 100% total weapon damage, nearly doubling your raw damage. You do lose stacks over time though. If you've got more than 50 stacks, you lose 2 per second, but 50 stacks and below are lost at a rate of 1 per second. Running the chest piece gives you a maximum of 200 stacks, which is insane damage. But I've opted for Obliterate, which is a lot easier to stack up, even with the Eagle Bearer. Now pretty much every build that involves on-hit stacks will have the ACS-12 or named Rock and Roll, because it's insanely fast for gaining stacks. Nothing can really compete. And sure, you could use that as your primary, put on the Striker chest piece, and run around with crazy damage, but I'm not a big fan of the ACS-12 just because it takes no skill to use that gun. Honestly. At least with the Eagle Bearer, or any AR for that matter, you need to aim your shots and you can actually improve at it. Now, I do have the Rock and Roll as my secondary for situations where I can safely get a bunch of stacks, then swap to my Eagle Bearer and go for Tenacity so I can get even more aggressive. I don't particularly like playing too slowly and always hiding behind cover, which is why my builds allow you to get aggressive, and because I never use shields, they need significant survivability. The playstyle for this build is fast but smart. You can't just face tank a group of NPCs like Hunter's Fury, because this build has no CC. Play it smart to start, get some stacks, and once you have Tenacity, go hard for your 3 kills, then rinse and repeat. Using the Eagle Bearer, you can comfortably maintain 50 stacks, and if you want to maintain your Obliterate stacks, you'll need to keep attacking and keep taking risks, pushing your limits. Sure, you might go down every now and then, but I find it a hell of a lot entertaining than just sitting behind cover and 3-tapping everybody with the usual 6 red build. Plus, we've got a Reviver Hive as a security blanket. For your other skill, use whatever you want. Against Black Tusk, a Jammer Pulse is very strong, but otherwise, anything will do. For your 2 other pieces, you've got some flexibility. I'm using Seska and Fenris, but you could swap the Fenris out for Grupo or even a Coyote Mask. Seska is necessary to efficiently reach the 60% crit chance cap though. If you haven't leveled up your critical hit chance on your watch yet, you'll need to roll a couple striker pieces to crit chance, otherwise you want crit damage rolled on everything, and I've used my 3 gear mods for 18% crit chance. From the Eagle Bearer mods, you're getting 10% crit chance as well as 15% crit damage. As for the specialization, I was torn between Sharpshooter and Gunner. On the one hand, Gunner gives you 5% armor on kill, which isn't much, but it's a lot more useful while you've got tenacity. And it has a rate of fire boost on kill, which helps you string together multiple kills while going aggressive. On the other hand, Sharpshooter gives you 15% recoil control to help you hit your headshots, as well as flashbangs, which have a huge radius and are perfect for blinding multiple enemies when you first engage. I use Gunner during my mission playthrough, however, I personally prefer Sharpshooter. Try them both out and see which you prefer is my suggestion. Now for the playstyle, how aggressive you can play will depend on the situation. Can you safely unload your ACS-12 into a nearby enemy to boost your stacks before swapping to your Eagle Bearer? Do you need to shoot from cover until you get tenacity? Or can you go right up into the NPC's faces? Using this build successfully will depend on your ability to read situations and adjust your playstyle accordingly. Now, I'm not going to give you some bullshit about this being the strongest build or easiest build to use, but I do think it's a fun build that challenges the user to think and aim while they play. And when used correctly, you'll be clearing heroic content as quickly as pretty much any other build out there. Finally, a lot of you probably still don't have the Eagle Bearer. Until just recently, it was a raid exclusive, but can now drop in the DZ. Again, the drop rate is super low and you'll need to extract it, but if you really don't want to try the raid, then at least you have another option. And for the record, there are still plenty of people doing the raids, so if you're on Xbox, not sure about PS and console, I suggest using the Xbox LFG to find a group if you want to give it a whirl. Most of the people doing it have Eagle Bearers already, so let them know you're looking for it, and they'll usually give it to you if they get one. So that's my latest build. I hope this video was helpful and that some of you will actually give this build a try, as it's a good change of pace, it's fun and powerful. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're looking for plenty more Division 2 content. See you next time, and happy farming, agents.
The DCD's data analysis lab is just ahead. See what data you can grab for Kelso.
Data transfer initiated.
Hostiles are moving to your position. Suggest an egress through the courtyard to avoid getting boxed in.
have any idea how damage you've done, I'm going to enjoy cutting you to fuck